Hey guys, and welcome back to CMakers Interviews. And today I thought I would rank every MCU and DCEU movie on a tier list. Now, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and just hit the subscribe button down below to support my content. And if you like what you see, you can go check out some other videos right now. I absolutely love the MCU, and I think that even the worst MCU movie I would take over the best. Like a middle road MCU movie, I would take, I think, normally over a top tier DCEU movie. That's just my opinion, but some of these films I like more than others. Let's just get into the ranking. Shazam is a movie that I really enjoyed. I've only seen it once, and I saw it in the theater, and I remember really, really enjoying Shazam. Now, is it perfect? No, I think it has tonal issues, and I think some of the humor is a little forced, but I think it's still a really funny movie. But compared to the other movies, I don't think I could put it any higher than B tier. Birds of Prey, I'm gonna put in B tier as well. I think Birds of Prey isn't as good as Shazam, but I think Birds of Prey works so well and is so funny. It's so creative. It feels like the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of style before the Suicide Squad did it, but it just feels really light, kind of upbeat, a different style to the different darker DCEU movies, and I think it works. Ant-Man and the Wasp is going in the A tier. Now you might be saying, "Oh, you like Marvel more than DC." Well, I do. I think the MCU has better movies. Now, if there's a good DCEU movie out there, I'll support it and I'll like it. But I'm not going to give just endless praise to every MCU movie, even if they're not good, as you'll see later on. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, I've always had this one higher up on my MCU list. I just think it's a good movie. It's a great movie in my opinion. It's a solid, fun movie that after Infinity War, it works really well. I've seen this probably the most out of any MCU movie, and I just absolutely love Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, the first Ant-Man I'm going to put in B tier. I'll put it ahead of Birds of Prey, but Shazam's better than Ant-Man. Ant-Man's a really fun heist movie that works really well, and I think Paul Rudd just is perfect for the role. Aquaman, I didn't really enjoy this movie. There's some fun moments to it, so I'll put it in B tier as well. But overall, there's just really nothing special about Aquaman. Now we're getting to Age of Ultron. I'm going to have to put Age of Ultron in C tier. Now, I used to love Age of Ultron, but thinking about it more, it doesn't feel really like an Avengers movie. Now, it does have the Avengers, but it just doesn't work. It's very sloppy. They try to cram in so much, and it just has kind of a color palette of gray, and it just doesn't work compared to the other MCU movies. Endgame, S tier. I'll also put Infinity War up there. These two movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. I think these two are near perfect. They're great. It's a great duology, but it fits so great into the Avengers movie trilogy, per se. But anyways, these two movies are really great. I think Endgame handles less characters better. Infinity War, like Captain America is barely in Infinity War. So is Black Widow. I mean, Hawkeye's not even in Infinity War or Ant-Man. But there's so many characters and so many fun interactions that it's just so great. And then with one of the best endings in movie history in Infinity War. But then in Endgame, I think what they do with a smaller amount of characters works so well. And the time traveling, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I like seeing them going back and getting cameos from old MCU actors. I thought that worked really well. Batman v Superman, F tier. Hate this movie. I have not seen the Ultimate Edition. It's way too long. What they do with Jesse Eisenberg's character is not good. So if you don't know, I'm only solely basing this off of theatrical runs. So like Ultimate Editions or Extended Editions don't count. So If your movie was bad up front, the MCU's never had to do an extended edition, so I gotta be fair. But the extended edition for DCEU's Batman v Superman is bad. It's too long. It's dark. They should have just called it Batman and Superman, because Batman v Superman is like 5 minutes of the movie. Plus, Lex Luthor is a horrible villain. Black Panther is going in the A tier. Black Panther, what it did culturally was phenomenal. The score alone brings this movie in the A tier, but the storytelling, the acting, it's just a phenomenal movie. Captain America Civil War is also going in A tier. Civil War and Batman v Superman are some of the movies that I think, Kevin Feige wasn't going to do Civil War until they announced Batman v Superman, and he did it almost 100% better than DC, because Civil War works in some ways. It's so great. I mean, Civil War is phenomenal in my opinion. Is it the perfect movie? No, because I don't know. It's just there's some moments of it that I just don't like. The first Avenger, yeah, I'm putting it in B tier. It's a really fun war movie, but there's not much to it. Winter Soldier, S tier. It's almost a perfect comic book movie. I love the Winter Soldier. Does a political thriller and it with Bucky. It's just really good. Captain Marvel's going in the C tier. Now, I believe Captain Marvel to be one of the worst MCU movies. On rewatch, it was still pretty bland, very forgettable, but I still don't think it's a horrible movie. There's still elements of it that I think redeem it. The score, the visuals. The visuals in the MCU movies are so much better than DCEU movies. Talking about visuals, Doctor Strange, the story feels very familiar, so I'm going to put it in the B tier. But it's the visuals alone make this movie really enjoyable. Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if you know my channel and you've watched my MCU videos for a while, I was never the biggest fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I liked it, but I don't think it was great. But on rewatch, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is possibly one of the best MCU movies. I honestly think it is. I really, really like it. So I've actually stopped ranking these for a while, but I'll put Guardians ahead of the Winter Soldier. Civil War, I think, is better than Black Panther and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think the first Avengers is better than Aquaman, and Doctor Strange is better than Ant-Man, not as good as Shazam. Captain Marvel is worse than Age of Ultron. So the list is really ranked right now. But anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy is hilarious. It's perfect, in my opinion. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I want to throw an S tier, but I'll just put it in A tier. But there's some problems with pacing and kind of splitting up the team that I'm not a fan of, but I really enjoy it. Iron Man 2, I used to love this movie, but on rewatch, it's just okay. There's nothing really to it. It's top C tier, but it's so sloppy. It just doesn't really work. Iron Man 3 is also going to be in C tier. I'm going to put Iron Man 3 right there behind Iron Man 2. I like Iron Man 2 better, and I'll put Age of Ultron ahead of Iron Man 3. Actually, I like Age of Ultron better than Iron Man 2. So, it's just, I don't like Iron Man 3. I've seen it twice, which is this and Thor the Dark World are my two least rewatched MCU movies. So there's not much to it that I like. Some of the acting is good. The humor works, but overall, it's just not a movie I care to rewatch. First Iron Man, B tier, better than Aquaman. I don't know. I like First Avenger better than Iron Man. So this is controversial, but I'm not the biggest fan of the original Iron Man. Now, it does have its strengths, and I think it did a great job of kicking off the universe. But like I say with Toy Story, just because it kicked off something great and it's the OG doesn't mean it's a good, great movie. it could kick off and it could be good, but compared to the other MCU movies and DCEU movies, it's not that good. Justice League is going in the C tier. Some people might put it in the F tier, but I think some of the humor in here works. And the first time I enjoyed it when I watched it, it's better than Captain Marvel. No, it's not. Man of Steel, B tier. Don't like Man of Steel. I really don't enjoy it. It's actually low B tier. Just Henry Cavill does a good job, but it's just too dark for Superman for me. Far From Home, A tier. I love Far From Home with the whole Mysterio thing. I think it works extremely well, and also put Homecoming in A tier. Homecoming's, you know what? Homecoming's a B tier movie, but I will put it. I like Ant-Man better than Homecoming, but it still works. It's still a good movie. I really enjoy it. Michael Keaton's Vulture is really great. Suicide Squad, I'm going to put in C tier. Now, this is one that I think is so bad it's good. I honestly want to put in B tier, but I don't think I could do that. As in terms of quality, it's F tier, but in terms of enjoyment, I like it better than Iron Man 2. I really do. I think the cast of characters works well, but this editing just wrecks the movie. The Avengers, no surprise, favorite movie of all time, so of course the Avengers is going to go in the S tier. It's perfect. It feels nostalgic, and this is the only MCU movie I really feel like will go down in history as kind of a nostalgic movie. It just feels nostalgic already, and it came out about 10 years ago, so it's not that long ago, and it already hits kind of with the nostalgia. Incredible Hulk gets too much hate, but it also is a C tier movie. It's better than Iron Man 3, and it's better than Iron Man 2. I'll put it above Suicide Squad. With Edward Norton leaving, it is why I think if Mark Ruffalo was in this movie as Hulk, I think it would have gotten a lot more acclaim. But he looking back at this movie, there's nothing to it. Thor: The Dark World. See, this is the worst MCU movie in my opinion, but it's still better than some DC movies. Thor, the original Thor, is also a B tier. Not the biggest fan of this. I think Phase 1 has a huge mixed bag, and Thor's definitely one of them. It just doesn't feel like the MCU because Thor looks so different, and just some of the filming that they didn't work so well. Thor Ragnarok's going in A tier. It's hilarious and a great change of form from previous Thor movies. And then Wonder Woman is also going in A tier. I really enjoy Wonder Woman. I think it's the best DC movie before 2020. And you might be wondering, where are the 2020 movies on this list, or 2021? Well, this tier list was created without any of those, so I will just tell you where they go. Black Widow would go in A tier for me. I really loved Black Widow. The Suicide Squad would also go in A tier. Wonder Woman 1984 would go in C tier, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League would go in A tier as well. So there you guys have it. There's my DC and MCU movies ranked. Tell me some of your favorites or least favorites from each franchise down below. Remember to hit the subscribe button, and may the force